Hey crafty friends, it's Alyssa with Crafting to Cope, and I'm on today with a craft room organization share. So I had shared in an earlier video that I'm working really hard trying to get my craft room organized. And currently, all of my metal cutting dies, when I get them, they're just in like a pile. So they're in the wrappers that they come in and they're just shoved in a bin, and I have to dig through that whole bin. I keep ordering dies I already have. I don't know what I have. Nothing is organized. So I've watched a lot of videos on die organization and tried to figure out the best cost-effective way for it to work for me and how my brain works. And this is what I've come up with. So I have started this organization here, and this is my Christmas, like holiday type dies, and I'm not done, but you can see I have a lot of Christmas dies. And what it is this is a plastic bin, and you can get these on Amazon, Target, TJ Maxx, Hobby Lobby. They sell these all over the place, and they're like refrigerator bins, so they're plastic. And mine is not super big because it gets heavy once you start to put all the dies in it. So what I've done is I've actually laminated an index file. So what this is just a piece of cardstock. I put a label on it that says Christmas and I laminate it. And then I take my dies and I put them in. These are like work ticket sleeves. So I watched Bethany's video, your crafty BFF, and she used these, and I thought, what a great idea. So if you look at these work ticket sleeves, and they come in all different sizes. These are the 6x9 size, I believe. I'm going to link them below, and I get them on Amazon, and they are super sturdy. They're clear and they're super sturdy, a lot thicker than some of the die storage that you see, which I love because some of the dies I have doubled up and they get pretty heavy, and so these aren't going to fall apart. And then I purchased these magnetic sheets. They're very thin magnetic sheets, but they're strong magnets, but they're super thin. So what I do is I actually also purchase these little pieces of chipboard. All of these things I got on Amazon. So I believe the chipboard comes in sets of 100, I believe, and the magnets and the work tickets come in 50. One of them comes in 100, one of them comes in 50. And so what I do is I actually just put these together myself, and we're going to do it together. And then I take my die and I organize it. So what you're going to need to do this whole thing is the magnetic sheets from Amazon, the chipboard pieces from Amazon, and the work tickets. I also will use this little label maker to print my labels. I need a pair of scissors, some cardstock, and my laminator. And you can set this whole thing up. So we're going to do a couple of them together just so you can kind of see my process of how I put these together. So you're also going to need glue. I'm going to use Art Glitter Glue. I usually use this in my glue press, but I think I left that upstairs because I was doing some crafting upstairs. So we're just going to use this. But all you're going to do is take the magnetic sheet, turn it to the non-shiny side, and then take your cap off your glue. And then we are just going to put a generous amount of glue on here because we want it to stay on the chipboard. So, and Art Glitter Glue works just fine. I love it because it dries fast and I get a little bit of wiggle room. So I'm just going to put a generous amount on here. Then I'm going to take my piece of chipboard, and it's not going to fit exactly because these are 5x7. And the chipboard is just a little bit bigger that I ordered, but I couldn't find the right size. So, and I did a lot of searching. So what you're going to do is just put this on here, and you get a little bit of time with Art Glitter Glue to kind of line up the corners. So, and it's okay if there's a little glue down here. It's also okay if you get a little glue on there, you can just wipe it off. And so I'm going to wait for that one to dry. So again, there's a dull side and a shiny side. You can kind of see. We're going to take the dull side and we're going to put a generous amount of glue on there. And I'm sure you can use other glue. I just love our glitter glue. Once you try it, you'll love it too. But it gives you a little bit of time and it dries so fast. So it's perfect for paper crafting. It also works really good for this project. So I'm gonna take my piece of chipboard. And then I'm just gonna line it up. Then you just wanna give it a little bit of time to dry. I can give it a little push. So, and then when they're dry, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take a scissors and you're gonna trim off the extra chipboard. You don't need that. You want it to fit in your ticket. So I just follow right along. These scissors are from the Dollar Tree. They don't work that great. So, but again, my normal scissors are upstairs. So we're just going to use these. And if it's not perfect, it's fine. You really can't tell. So again, you're just going to trim off those little pieces that are on there. Let me grab another. We'll do one more. All right. So just get it as close as you can. And I usually use like my scissors from We Are Memory Keepers, which work so much better than these Dollar Tree scissors. All right. Yeah, I would suggest you use a good pair of scissors. And I love my We Are Memory Keepers scissors. All right. So then when that's all done, we're going to find the dies. So I have a couple dies here that still need a home. So I have this KS Craft Heart Rosette die. So I'm just going to take it out. There's a lot of packaging here. And if it doesn't all fit on one piece, I don't really worry about it. What I do then is I think this one will be fine. It fits good enough, like just like that. And then what I do, just because I like to keep track of where I got things from, I will take off any sort of packaging. Like, let me grab some of these examples and show you. So, like, for example, this ornament die, it has little stamps. And then I put the paper, the packaging in the back. This is a KS Craft die, and I just put the barcode in the back. This one's a Sizzix die, and I put the paperwork in the back. And then here it's a KS Craft again. These ones are gingerbread words from KS Crafts, and what I do on the back is I put the little label off the packaging, but I put what each word says. So then I don't have to try and sit and read them. I can flip it over and know what the words are. And then I can use them in other things. So like, for example, this one says kisses. So I could use this in my Valentine crafting. So that's kind of how I do it. So like the backs of all of mine, some of them have stamps. So like this is a KS Craft and it's the gingerbread recipe card. And I just put the stamps there in the back and I put the packaging in the back. And so I do that because, oops, it'll help me if ever I want to look up a photo or know where I got it from to share when I'm using it in a video. That's why I do that. So what I'm going to do here is just take a pair of scissors and I just cut the plastic and everything. These scissors are awful. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's try like a pair of scissors that are, yeah, here we go. So I thought those Dollar Tree scissors were great because they were Westcott brand. They do not work. So My advice is don't buy them unless you just want to leave them for your family to use so they don't steal your paper crafting scissors. So I just take off this little sticker here, and then I'm just going to glue it right on the back. So if ever I need to look anything up or need to know the number to make sure I'm not buying the same die again, I just put it right here at the bottom. Just right down there. I just glue it right on there, and this glue will dry pretty quick. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a label for it. And so I'm just going to take my label machine, and this is a heart rosette. So I just have to delete out my last thing. So I'm just going to type in heart rosette, and I don't know. If you're a crafter, you probably have some sort of label maker. If you don't, I would highly suggest you get one because I use mine all the time. And I've had this thing for so long. I mean, probably like 15 years. And I use it all the time. And I can get the little papers that are inside here, these little cartridges, from Walmart. And so it comes in real handy. And I messed it up because I opened it while it was going. So let's reprint it. So you just type in what you want it to say and then hit print. Don't open it while it's printing or it cuts off your words like it did to me. So I'm going to do that. And then the other thing I'm going to do, because this is kind of a nondescript, it says KS Craft on here, so I'm not going to type a label that says KS Craft. But I do order dies from like the KLJUYP, and they come in like a nondescript package with like nothing on it. So I'll put the brand on the front, just so I know who it came from. So all I'm going to do now is just put this in this work ticket envelope, and you'll see it has a lot of room in it. It sits tightly, but I could still fit more in there if I wanted to. And then I'm just going to take this little label and put it right on the front. And then this one is actually a Valentine die. So I'm going to throw it in my holiday under Valentine. The great thing about Valentine's Day is if I'm in search of like something with a heart on it, first thing I'm going to do is go look in Valentine's Day. So this is my heart rosette. And then that one's ready to be filed away. Let's do one more. So I have this die, which I have never used, from Sizzix, and I actually got it at Hobby Lobby. I'm sure on clearance. I would not have paid full price for anything. And I'm just going to take this out, and I'm going to take it off the packaging here and put it on here. And there is some sticky tape on here. I don't want to put that on my, I'm just going to put these on here like this. I don't want to put that on my magnet. So then now for this one, what I'll probably do is just cut it down, because I don't need, well, it has some instructions on how to put it in a die cutting machine, but I know how to do that. And then there's more on the inside here, all these little words. I'll just take this off. This is some sticky tape because it's been in this package for a while. And this is what's sad, is like I have all these dies. Like I didn't even remember I owned that because it's just been lost in that sea of dies. So I'm super excited now to be able to use these dies. So now for this one, I don't want it to be huge, so I'm just going to cut it down in the back. And this is going to tell me the brand, the number, and then the dies, you know, that are in the package. And you can glue it on the back, which I'll probably do in this case because I don't need what's on the other side. I'll just glue it, throw a little glue on here. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'm just putting it down here on the back so then I know what dye it is. And then in this case, if I don't know what the dye is called, so this one doesn't, let's see if it has a name on the back. Sometimes they have names. So this is Photo Frame and Words. So I'm going to take a ticket sleeve, put it in there, just like that. And so on the back, you can see who it's from. And then I'm going to print a label that says Photo Frame and Words. And then we can file them away under my, oh, hello, Avalanche, my new filing system. So in this case, this one here is all the holidays. So I'm going to go back here to Valentine's Day. And I'm going to put my heart rosette right in there. So you'll see I have all my holidays right here. I still have tons of room in here to add more, but I'm not even close to being done. So for the dividers, what I do is I just take a piece of cardstock. So this is just cardstock, I believe, from Michaels. So it is this cardstock pack with the mint hues because I have a lot of mint in my craft room. I just take out a sheet of paper. And what I do is I usually just cut a bunch of them because I have a lot to do, a lot of organization to do. I just take out the piece of paper and I'm going to cut it. I cut mine 6 inches across by 9.5. And then it stands a little bit taller than the tickets. So what I'm going to do is we'll cut one together and I'll kind of show you how I make the dividers. So I'm just going to take my cutter, take the sheet of paper that you want to use, and again, you can use any colors you want. You can use green and red for Christmas. I just want mine kind of to be universal, so I'm just going to cut it 9.5 here, and then I hang on to all my extras, and then I'm going to go by 6. So then I have another divider. Then after I do that, I'm just going to make a little tag. Let me think of what I need. I need one for tags. Let's see. We'll just make one that's for tags. So I have a lot of tag dies. So I haven't made that one yet. So we'll do that. And then I just take the backing off. I'm sure most of you could probably figure out what I'm doing, but I thought I'd just show you the whole process because this is so easy. Like, I was super excited when I saw Bethany's video and she showed how she does her die storage. And this is pretty similar to what she showed. And I'll try and see if I can find her video and I'll link it below so you can watch hers as well in case there are some differences. I think the major difference, I cannot get the back off of this sticker to save my life. I wish I had my pokey tool, which is also upstairs, so I probably should have brought it down. Anyway, everybody kind of does their organization a little bit different, you know, so I put all my Christmas dies under Christmas dies, but somebody might take like their Memdex, that's a Christmas Memdex, and put it under Memdex. I just put all of mine, all my Christmas dies together. And I know, like, if I need to search for something, I know to go look places because obviously I organized all the dies. I'm going to vaguely remember what I have. So then this is too flimsy to put in between all of those heavy metal dies and magnets. So what I do is I take my laminator, and I love this laminator. I have a Q Fun laminator, They sell it on Amazon. It actually comes in a bunch of really pretty colors. Mine's kind of like a silvery blue. And inside, it comes with like a paper trimmer. It has some little binder rings. It has a corner rounder, a little stapler, and extra little blade things so for the cutter. And then it all just fits neatly in here, which I love. And so while we've been doing the dies, I've been warming this up. It only takes a few minutes. Then you're going to take a laminating sheet. So I'm just using a 3mm laminating pouch. You're just going to take that and then you're going to put your divider in there, your cardstock. Now, normally, if I'm not on video, I would fill in some of these blank spaces with things that need to be laminated. Like when I did the other ones, I put some bookmarks in here so I wasn't wasting the laminate. So I could fit one down here and I could fit one there. I do bookmarks a lot with like my extra scrap paper, and then I sell them at craft fairs. So, but for this video, we're just gonna feed it through, and it just goes right on through. I'm loving getting organized. I have so many more dies to go through though. Like it's gonna take me a little while, but I'm super excited to put these containers on my shelves and be able to dig through it. I've just ordered a bunch of Valentine dies that I'm waiting to come in, and my whole thing is what I'm going to do is when I get dies, I'm going to put them in a basket, and it's going to be like my to-do pile. Like make sure that I put them on a magnet sheet, and I put, you know, who I got it from and whatever information I have, and then put it away right away so I'm not double purchasing things. So now this is done. All we're going to do, you don't even have to wait for it to cool because it'll just be a matter of minutes, is just take a pair of scissors. Normally I use a bigger pair, but this is what I have handy. And then you just cut, making sure that you're not going all the way up to the green, otherwise it'll open up. You want to leave, you know, like, I don't know, like 1/8 of an inch around. And I just cut off this excess. And now I have my divider. So again, that is it. And I'm loving it. I'm loving getting organized. I'm so happy that I won't be buying double dies anymore. And then I'm just going to move this out of the way so I can show you my organization again. So then now I just have a new divider to put right in here. So I'm going to try and move this up a little bit so you can see. So you'll see it says Christmas, and I have all of these fun Christmas dies here with, well, this one doesn't have anything on the back because this one is the KLJ UIP or whatever, but like this one is a Sizzix die, and I just put the paperwork right in the back there. And then I can go to Easter and I can find all my Easter dies. And then again, when I have word dies such as this, I write all of the sayings on the back. Let's see, I think I have, I'm gonna try and find it. So like this die right here, this one had no paperwork with it, but it had so many dies that I just put another sheet on the back so I could put them all together. So these are all the whimsical hearts, and then they come in smaller sizes. So they come in the big sizes and the smaller sizes. So that's kind of how I organize my dies. I'm so excited to get the rest of them finished, to see what I have, and to be able to start using them. And I'm actually going to put this tags one in a different bin because this is all holidays. So some other things I have is, like, I have you know, my bag toppers, I have tags, I have frames, card toppers, kitchen, baking, you know, I have all kinds of different themes. Like I have so many fruit dies. Like I have one of these that just says fruit. You know, you're gonna kind of name them in a way that makes sense to you, but this is just a great way to keep everything organized. So again, I will link everything that I used in this tutorial on Craft Room Storage down below. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'm happy to help any way I can. Thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.